What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. This is an update on Solana. Solana has made a move up, and as you can see, we moved up impulsively. A possible wave 1, a retracement for wave 2 over here, and we went up in a 1 2, 1 2 3 4 and a 5 all the way up, and now we're in a possible macro wave 4. As you can see, the wave 4 over here has targets to the downside. It could go all the way down to the 11.6090 and still be a valid wave 4. So there is a risk of a pullback on Solana to the downside up to 11.6090 and still have a move to the upside. Now, if Solana decides to take off from where it is now and decides to go to the upside, we could have some targets to the upside, so we can see our projections. Where is next for Solana? Let me just pull back a bit, and we could see that Solana over here could have targets that could take us all the way up to the $17 to $18 range. Now, I'll show you that in a minute. I'll add some channels that I added to the chart. They give us more direction and we could see better. Okay, this is trend-based fib extension. I'm going to take this off and we're going to remove the fib retracement. So we know that 11.6 is the lowest. However, if we are ready to move from here now, Solana's targets could be the length of the wave 1 to the bottom of wave 4 at the moment. Your targets for Solana can be between the $15 and $17 range. However, I see it's a possibility, $15 to $17 range, but you have a possibility of Solana coming down to the 11.609, somewhere around here, and still be a valid wave 4. Then your targets will change. Your targets will be between the 15, which is 14.49, to the $16 range. So those are your targets for Solana, measuring the length of wave 1. You could measure it differently, but that's essentially, you could get up to the $18 range, but I won't get into so much detail. What I added to this chart is Fibonacci channels. Fibonacci channels will basically tell you possible points of where we could bounce. As you can see here on the daily chart, perfect touch. I took these channels from the 2021, from August 2021, and I'm not looking at the Binance chart because this chart has more details than the Binance chart. And you can see the start of my plotting was over here. Let me just go back here on the weekly. Well, on the daily is fine. You can see I started in August 2020, so it has a lot of data, and I can show you some parts in the chart where you see the Fibonacci channels being respected. Sometimes they're being challenged. You can see here is stalling at a Fibonacci channel. Here we get a bounce from a Fib channel, and so on, so forth. At the moment we were getting bounce here, not at the moment. In July, went below it. We're just trading along this channel downwards till we broke under. At the moment, we are getting support from this blue channel. So I see us, if we come down here, then a possible spot for a bounce would be around the $8, depending when we land. Obviously, it goes lower, I would say around the $8 range for the next few days, for the next couple of days. It could be a point where we could expect a bounce if Solana drops. Another interesting thing I was looking at for Solana, we have the 200 daily moving average, and we have the weekly EMA. So those are two different things. On the weekly chart, we have the 200. Let me just get rid of these channels for now so you can have a bit more clarity. I'll just get rid of them. There you go. So you have the daily 200 EMA. This is a weekly chart. You have the daily 200 EMA and the weekly 10 moving average. The daily 200 EMA is in red, is in blue, sorry. The daily 200 moving average is in blue, and the 10 weekly EMA, not MA, EMA. This is the 10 EMA, and this is the 200 moving average of the daily. So historically, whenever we are below it, it's not good for us. We don't have much data, but you can see over here we were below it, the 200 daily moving average. Once we got above it, then that's a good sign, and we bounced all the way up. We never looked back. We never touched it. The next time we touched it on the weekly was on the week of 10th of January. So what I'm trying to tell you, if we get above, if we get a weekly candle starts opening and closing above the 200 daily moving average, then at the moment is around 28.5. So once we are above the 28.5 on our weekly candles, that's going to essentially tell us, okay, we may have some more upside. Another thing is the 10 EMA, 10 exponential moving average on the weekly. You can see that whenever we're under it, it's bearish, and you can't have a bull trend if you're under it. I mean, this is a weekly candle, so you could go under and come back up. But I'm trying to say is that you're even under the 10 exponential moving average. So essentially, you need to get above the 15.7 to even be considering getting up to the 28 or even the 20. As I was saying always, the $15 range is very important for Solana. We need to get above the 15 so we can talk about the 16 and 17. Those targets I showed you were at around the 15 to 16 or $17 range. Those are the targets for a possible wave 5 to complete the bigger wave 5. Now we are in a wave 4. The wave 4 usually could be a triangle. A wave 4 and a wave B in the elite wave are triangles, can be a triangle, or triangles are usually a wave B or wave 4. I'm trying to get another chart to show you some other information on Solana. Okay, over here you can see. Now let's go to the smaller time frames. On the hourly, we are below or just at the point of control, I believe. Let's look. Let me get rid of the moving averages. Okay, this is on the 4 hourly. We are at the POC and struggling and forming some sort of triangle. You can see the peaks over here. Perfect. It's not a triangle, actually it's a wedge. I'll be lying if it's a triangle. It's kind of a channel or a wedge, we could call it, on the macro. This is on the 4 hourly, on the micro, sorry. But if you zoom out, you are even in a bigger descending triangle over here on Solana. If you count this peak over here, you're coming down and touching this peak and this peak, possibly 3 touches. But now I'm looking at this this touch. We exploded upwards, okay, and then we pull back in the channel in an a B if it's a triangle, a C, a D, possibly we'll get an E touch, then we explode upwards to complete that 5th wave. That 5th wave, as I mentioned, my target, we need to get above the 14.9, I believe. At the moment over here, the value area high is at around 14.779. And if you pull back the 233, it's around that we are above the 233. So that's good on the 4 hourly. However, we do have to worry about the value area high. If we get there, we could get a rejection as we did before over here. So essentially what I'm saying is big resistance for now is the 14.96 of 968. I have it on another chart. I have many charts over here, so sometimes I have to go through them because I plot different things on different charts. 14.968 is a level of resistance over here, very close to the value area high, as you can see, and that is a level to the upside to worry about. Immediate resistance if we can get above 13.852. To the downside, Solana can retrace up to the 11, I believe I said is 11.5, 11.6, and still be in a valid wave 4 to the downside. So essentially, we could have this as ABC, and now we're pulling up for an ABC. and then possibly we go down for another ABC to 12.6. We could do that. We don't 11.6. We don't have to do that. But I'm telling you that even if Solana comes down to the 11.6 or 11.5, then you watch the reaction. If we're not going to slide through it like butter, then there's a good chance that we're going to get a bounce and continue to those targets that I mentioned, $15 to $16 range. So trading ideas, if we go up to the $15 range, that's a good short. It's not guaranteed, but it's high confluence. That's what you look for in trading. And trading idea, if you come down to the downside, then you could have the 11.6 or 11.5. If you lose that, then you're really looking at the 11.287 where you have the value area low, and you lose that, then there's top of this descending channel that we were at and a level of resistance or support over here, 9.114, 18.307. My targets for Solana long term haven't changed, $5 to $7 range over here, but we could have some more upside. The time that this gets invalidated, once we have confluences that we are changing momentum. Example, maybe if we get above the $28 and back test it only to move up, then I'll say, yeah, this is totally erased for now. Hope you like the update on Solana. Join the free Discord. Link is in the channel description and in the video description. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, more trades. I'm out.